Now, Ashley Dalton has been named as the replacement for Andrew Gwynn as Health Minister after he was sacked over the weekend for making alleged racist, sexist and anti-Semitic remarks in a WhatsApp group chat. A second Labour MP, Oliver Ryan, has apologised for comments he made in the same group. His comments are now being investigated by the Labour Party. Earlier, when asked about Oliver Ryan, the Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson insisted Labour expects very high standards from its MPs.
It is disappointing and unacceptable. My understanding is that Oliver Ryan will meet with the Chief Whip to discuss what's taken place, that the Labour Party will investigate what has gone on, and whilst that investigation is underway, I won't be offering any more comment on that. But people can be assured that the Labour Party maintains very high standards where it comes to what we expect of our candidates, of our members of Parliament, and you will have seen over the weekend the Prime Minister taking swift action against Andrew Gwynn in that regard.
Meanwhile, Greater Manchester Police have said they've received a small number of complaints relating to publicised WhatsApp messages. Our chief political correspondent, John Craig, joins me now from inside the Palace of Westminster. Afternoon to you, John. Look, Andrew Gwynn has been an MP for 20 years. Oliver Ryan's been there for about 6 months. So do you think that will help him if he intends to learn from his mistakes?
Well, let's talk about Oliver Ryan first. He's the Labour MP for Burnley. He won that seat from the Conservatives last July, and he used to work for Andrew Gwynn, and I think he describes him as a friend. Now, last night he owned up to being the second MP involved in this WhatsApp controversy, and he said that between 2019 and early 2022 he was a member of a WhatsApp group created by Andrew Gwynn, and he said some of the comments made in that group were completely unacceptable, and he said he fully condemns them. He also said, "I regret not speaking out at the time, and I recognise that failing to do so was wrong." He said he didn't see every message, but accepts responsibility for not being more proactive in challenging what was said. Well, shortly after that, overnight, we learned that he has been summoned to a meeting with the Chief Whip, that is Sir Alan Campbell, tough disciplinarian. We know since the election he's suspended quite a few MPs for rebelling in votes in the House of Commons. He's a former school teacher. He's a tough man, and that meeting, I am told on the very highest authority, is going to take place later today. Hasn't happened yet, but clearly he's got to explain himself. I mean, he's been given the chance to explain himself. Speaking earlier on Sky News, Angela Eagle, the Home Office Minister, talked about the key thing here being the content. What was it that Mr. Ryan had said in some of those posts? Now, I must admit, looking at day 2 of the story, they don't look quite as offensive, perhaps, as day 1, when Mr. Gwynn's comments were certainly claimed to be anti-Semitic. That was the view, certainly, of the Labour Party, and also misogynic, sexist, and generally pretty offensive. So he lost his job as a government minister. He was junior minister at the Health Department, and he also has lost the Labour whip. Now, that's not yet happened to Mr. Ryan. That may be the result of his meeting with the Chief Whip. On the other hand, he may just been given a severe ticking off. I suspect perhaps the Chief Whip may be perhaps more understanding towards a new MP rather than an old lag, if you like Andrew Gwynn. Let me just tell you very briefly on Mr. Gwynn. Greater Manchester Police have said that we've received a small number of complaints relating to publicised messages allegedly from a WhatsApp group. A non-crime hate incident has been recorded. We're in contact with our parliamentary liaison as part of our initial inquiries. The government has moved swiftly to appoint Mr. Gwynn's replacement. It's Ashley Dalton, came into Parliament in a by-election in West Lancashire 2013, and crucially, she was Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary's parliamentary private secretary, so she knows a bit about the Health Department. No great surprise to see her move up.
John, thanks very much.